On this episode of The Negative Nomad, we're going to get a little taste of Europe right here in Helen, Georgia. Helen is located about an hour and a half just north of Atlanta. Two of the most busiest times to visit Helen is during Oktoberfest and Christmas. If you want to come visit during Christmas, you need to come the first weekend of December. And that's when you come for the Christmas parade and Santa Claus comes to town. During this time of the year, the town really goes out and decorating it for Christmas. And for me, it's really at its best during the night when all the Christmas lights are on. The stores here mostly cater to the tourist, from everything like your basic t-shirts and keychains to full-service restaurants. Now, one of my favorite places is right here at Hansel and Gretel. Now, this place has the best fudge. Everything from milk chocolate, dark chocolate, chocolate-covered graham crackers, and any kind of thing you could possibly imagine. Another one of my favorite places to go is Betty's Country Store. Now, this is basically a small grocery store. And you would think, why would you want to go into a grocery store? Well, going in here is kind of like going back in a time machine. It's also a good place to stock up on some snacks while you're in town. The thing I like most about the store is these old pieces of advertisement and old products they have laying all throughout the store. Now remember, this is a regular functioning grocery store. So if you need some of your basic grocery items, they will probably have it. Another cool place to visit is Charlemagnes Kingdom. Now, what's cool about this place is it's a giant model train display. Now, the man who built this was from Germany, and he wanted to be able to remember the area where he grew up. So he built this huge model to be able to relive those memories of his childhood home. The display started small and it just gradually grew and grew and grew until it became this huge masterpiece. Now you may be thinking, well, what's so great about a model train set? Well, this particular model has a lot of detail. You could easily spend 30 minutes to an hour looking at all the small models, all the small details, and the craftsmanship that it took to build this little wonderland. And if you have kids, they're gonna love it. The only negative thing I can say about this place is that it is primarily just this one giant model. But still, it is a place I do recommend you come check out. Now, if you're hungry, there are a few places you can go, like Hoffer's, which is advertised as a traditional German bakery. One of the more popular places is the Troll Tavern. Now, the Troll Tavern is located right here along the banks of the Chattahoochee River. The Troll Tavern is known for having traditional German food, like Wiener Schnitzel, bratwurst, and sauerkraut. Now, the food is okay, but as someone who has been to Germany, it's not quite as authentic. But for me, you just can't beat this location and the scenery.
This is Wiener Schnitzel, which is a breaded piece of veal. It's been fried, and it's definitely good.
Now, my favorite place to eat is at Mully's Nakuchi Grill. All right, I've been to Helen 3 times and been to some of the restaurants more than once. And this is the first time for me to go to Mully's Nakuchi Grill. And I had to say, this one's probably my favorite so far. The food's pretty good, and considering this isn't your stereotypical restaurant, it's 2 old houses they put together and converted into a restaurant. I definitely like this one the best. Just outside of town is Nora Mills, and this is a cool little place to visit as well. This place has freshly ground grits. And if you don't know what a grit is, well, I'll let Joe Pesci tell you what a grit is.
What's this over here?
You never heard of grits?
Sure, I heard of grits. What is a grit anyways?
It's made out of corn. Them hominy grits.
Hominy?
Now inside the store, they have an actual working mill. Whole corn is put in at the top. It filters down and goes in between these two grinding wheels, which chops the corn up into fine little pieces. Now I love the way they sell these grits by putting them in these little cloth bags. Across the street, they also have a winery and a small antique store. About 15 minutes out of town, you can go to the Old Saltee store. Now this place is also like going back in time. It's like the front part of the store has like completely just stopped. Like it just stopped in the 1930s. Now in here they have all kinds of old products on display. They also have some old tools. If it's a little chilly, you can warm up by the fire. Or perhaps look at this antique peep show. They also have a cool player piano, and for a quarter they'll play a nice little tune for you. Now in the back of the store they have all kinds of stuff. One of the things you might stumble upon as you're driving around is the Nakuchi Indian Mound. Now while it's interesting to look at, you cannot walk out there into it. You're going to be regulated to standing by the roadside, observing from afar. But if you got a drone, you can get a little bit closer. Now for you ladies out there who may have grown up during the 80s, you are very familiar with Cabbage Patch Kids. And in the town of Cleveland, well, you can visit the place where it all started. And I will have to admit, this place is pretty creepy. There's nothing like seeing a grown man take care of a doll like it was just born. And then there are these heads stuck in these cabbage leaves. It's like a scene out of Alien. Just waiting for some kind of crab-like creature to come jump out and stick to my face and plant some little thing inside of my chest to jump out later on. As you can tell, I was extremely excited to be there. Of course, here you could buy all your Cabbage Patch accessories. But there is one little area I thought was mighty interesting, and it was this little display case where they had these old Cabbage Patch dolls, and it gave a basic rundown of how much they cost when they were originally sold and what they are currently worth, which is nuts. If you're into a little outdoor activity, you can go to Anna Ruby Falls. Now this is located just north of town and it's just a short drive. They have a very nice paved path that will bring you up to the top to Anna Ruby Falls.
Made it! Yay! Woohoo! Yay! Halfway.
And once you get to the top, you can see these three pretty falls. It is quite picturesque. Now for those of you who want to come and you're wondering how difficult it is for those who may have some sort of impairment, well, the path is relatively smooth. The path has some stairs, and if you're in a wheelchair, you're going to have difficulty getting up to the very top on these little observation decks. If you have crutches, you may be able to make it. If you're winded real easy, there are a few benches along the way so you can stop and take a break. My mother, who is 71 years old, did it. How was it, Ma?
It was pretty hard for me. A good thing they had some seats on the way up.
Now, if you want to come to Helen, follow this advice. Do not stay any longer than 2 days. Most of these things that I've shown you doesn't take very long to do. The weekend is the busiest time. During the weekdays, there's virtually no one in town. No matter which time of the week you decide to come, you will quickly run out of things to do. I would treat Helen as a weekend getaway or possibly tie it into another portion of a longer road trip.